What's going on, my fellow A-Plusers? Welcome back once again to a brand new episode of A-Plus Morphinominal, your weekly stop for your, I was about to say Marvel and DC, for your Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Tokusatsu, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, you guys name it. This is certainly your home, guys, joining you guys live every Saturday. Thank you very much for certainly joining us here, kicking off, hopefully, your weekend the right way. Happy National Power Rangers Day, everybody. It's time to celebrate. I really should have put on like some, what do they call them? Like the party hats, what do they call like kazoo whistles or whatever those things are when you blow them out and they make the noise and then roll back towards you. I should have gotten that, pop some champagne today. Instead, I'm sipping on my coffee today and things like that. But happy National Power Rangers Day, guys. I'm kind of curious to see how you guys certainly plan on celebrating it today. Or you have any movies in mind? You have any series that you're going to be going back and rewatching today? How's everybody's Power Month certainly coming along? We're definitely going to be talking about all that and more today, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much, guys, for certainly coming through. It's going to be a busy day for me, man. I think I have a big announcement coming for you guys here relatively soon, just for some channel updates. I went ahead and shot my shot, and I believe I might have some correspondence that have come back to me. So keeping my fingers crossed that everything certainly goes well, because we might have something pretty special for you guys here within the next couple of weeks. So certainly look forward to that. Outside of that, I too do have another big announcement to certainly make. If anything, I'm gonna aim for next week. There are a couple things in my way that I definitely have to go ahead and take care of first. But once I do, I definitely will go ahead and make a big announcement. So we got two big announcements coming here for the channel within the next week or so. So certainly look forward to that, guys. And other than that, yeah, I think that's pretty much it in regards to the channel updates. Me and the girlfriend are probably going to go out to her mom's later on today, having a little bit of a celebration. Tomorrow, I've got APlus Hero Report. I'm probably going to try and find some time today to review Ultraman Trigger. That we wind up having a brand new episode this past week. I think it was episode 5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken. I believe episode 6. Hella impressive episode. I had a blast with that. Not sure if you guys are certainly checking it out. Let me see. Waku Saver. I believe there is a 6th part, but I believe it is all adult oriented. So if anything, I don't believe that's going to be released out to anybody. Dino Vader, I believe, might have its 2nd episode up for you guys. If you're looking for some new tokusatsu sort of material to sink your teeth into, Dino Vader. I believe we did a review for episode 1, but I wouldn't be surprised if episode 2 is already out there for you guys. And we also wind up having a brand new tokusatsu series wind up being released. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, though. Like, I literally saw it yesterday on Twitter. I remember even seeing a a trailer for it that it wind up releasing. I don't know if this is from Japan or if it's a Chinese sort of Super Sentai team or if it's from Indonesia. Not quite sure. I'll have to do a little bit more investigating into that. But there is a new series that's out there. I will probably try and find the name of the series for you guys. Phoenix. Oh, here we go. Phoenix Fist Weidinger, Widenger, Phoenix Fist Weidinger. They have an opening that they went ahead and released. I'm not quite too sure exactly if it's a Japanese, Chinese, or maybe Indonesian film crew. If you guys know, please go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. But I did see an opening trailer for Weidinger. I'm not exactly sure when the first episode is going to be. If anything, maybe it was this weekend for all I know. I'll check it out and see if it's review worthy at all. See if it's something that we decide to go ahead and throw up on our channel. I've been having a lot of fun actually exploring outside of Power Rangers and Super Sentai in regards to other types of tokusatsu that's currently out there, seeing just some of the creative work that other people are certainly putting out into the world. May not necessarily be as far as like top quality like Super Sentai or Power Rangers, but the effort alone is always impressive. And I always wonder if these people that start off in these positions here, like the costume design people, special effects, like I wonder if this is like part of their resume to eventually go on to bigger and better things, because I've seen some rather impressive work so far. Let's see who's in our live chat with us. Give some shout outs to anybody joining us here today to celebrate Power Ranger month, as it in fact does wrap up. I'm kind of curious to know what you guys have thought about Power Month so far. We did get ourselves some brand new Lightning Collection pieces, which we'll certainly talk about also for you guys. So yeah, we'll definitely get into it. If anything, I feel like Power Month has been more meh than anything. I don't want to shit completely all over it because there have been some really cool things that have come out of it. Week one, I think, was just so incredibly strong to kind of see things kind of trajectory kind of go downhill, maybe a little bump, 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 bump every once in a while. Cool, but the execution of it, I felt like could have been a lot more better. Like if you're going to celebrate Power Month, like make sure you got something like really come out of the gate swinging, which they did with the TMNT and Power Rangers stuff. But it's been kind of subpar ever since then, with the exception of maybe some Boom Studios stuff that we've gotten so far. But I think a lot of us expected it to be mostly toys, mostly figures, and that's really what I kind of expected it to be. No Netflix new episodes of Power Rangers this month, right? I think some of us were assuming the 28th. I even heard some rumors of the 24th. All of that kind of went to the sidelines there. So yeah, underwhelming. I don't want to say it was terrible. It was just meh. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully next month they learn from how they pulled this off. And if you're really going to celebrate Power Rangers, make sure that each week, at least, it doesn't have to be every day, but at least make sure each week has like a phenomenal announcement. You know what I mean? Or more phenomenal announcements. Let's see who's in our live chat with us. We got Enrique. What's up, Enrique? He says, it's Morphin time. In honor of Power Rangers Day, I rewatched Dino Fury Episode 2, Sporks Unleashed on Nickelodeon. Can't wait for new episodes to return in September. You and me both, Enrique. I cannot wait. Super pumped. I know we're probably going to be getting reruns of episodes 9. Watch them. Like, I'll watch them. Turning off a Dino Fury episode is pretty hard, so I'll watch them anyway until we actually get ourselves our new episode 12. So thank you for coming through, Enrique. Blossom's in the house. What's up, Blossom? Power Rangers Legacy. It's morphin' time, guys. We're gonna get into it today. Adam Perea is here as well. Frankie says, what's up, Adam? Hot in here. 82. Yeah, it's pretty hot in here. It's funny you mentioned that. I was just listening to Nelly the other day. I was going through my YouTube music and I was scrolling through new releases, and for some reason I found a Nelly album, which I didn't even know Nelly was making new music. So that's what that reminded me of, Frankie. What's up? Hey, ladies, the show starts now is here. He says, hey, Adam, it's Alec. What's up, Alec? Good to have you back, man. Good to see you as always. Koala, I know you were in here like as of yesterday. I saw one of your comments you dropped, so thank you for certainly coming through today. Also, Power Rangers ready as well. Good to see you. Who else we got? Sarab in the house. Andrew certainly coming through. Marcelino Vasquez is here. We've also got the A Games 10 as well. Appreciate you coming through. Happy Power Rangers Day to you also, man. Doomsday's in here also. We got Jared making his presence known. Tony Robinson coming through as he does every weekend. Emmanuel's in here. What's up, man? Good to see you. 2 years away from the 30th anniversary. I hope they do something big for the 30th anniversary. I truly do. Regardless of the Hasbro and Toei stuff, whether or not we keep footage or we keep using past Super Sentai series, who knows? But I really hope that we do something massive for the 30th anniversary, whether that be, something for In Space, maybe Zeo. I hope they have some fun with it. I hope they have some fun with you. A-Game says, are you teaming up with Hasbro, huh? Shit, I wish. You think I'm Mega Power Brazil here? Shit, I wish. Congrats, by the way, to Mega Power Brazil. We actually do highlight a couple of their articles on here from time to time when it comes to news. So we definitely give them a ton of shout outs, but they just had a huge announcement today that they're teaming up with Hasbro Brazil, I think, to go ahead and be one of the news sources, whether that be for Power Rangers toys, the universe for Power Rangers as a whole. For over in Brazil, they're going to be like the official Power Rangers site. So I think that's incredible stuff, guys. Incredible stuff. So if you see things from Mega Power Brazil, it's definitely coming from a reputable source. So congratulations to them also. Usai's in the house. What's up, Usai? Good to see you in here. Izzy the gentleman has graced us with his presence, as always, saying hello, Adam, and good people. Pulling up late. Hey, it's okay. As long as you get in here, that's all that matters. Isaiah, what's going on, Isaiah? Thanks for certainly coming through today. And let's see here. Anybody else? The A Games 10 feels like it was pretty boring. Pretty boring for Power Month. I can't argue with you. Can't argue with you. Blossom, Power Month was kind of a drag, a drag. Listen, guys, you know, I'm not really I try not to be negative Nancy, but I definitely understand. I definitely understand where you guys are coming from. Power Month has been ass, nothing but MMPR milking. Yeah, I saw somebody else complaining that Power Month was all about MMPR. I get it. I can't, there's not much pushback. I mean, it's just been mediocre for me. Edward Sanchez Productions as well. But I will say, while Power Month has been mediocre, for the people that have given us stuff, or at least have made announcements, some of those announcements have been actually pretty cool. So I appreciate all the hard work, but man, we got to have some really massive announcements next time. Or just, it's not even necessarily massive announcements. I think it's just all about momentum and like how you build it up, you know, the presentation of it, you know what I mean? Maybe some teases throughout the week or something to build up to whatever the bigger announcement is. And then maybe some sub reveals or sub things, one thing here to kind of lead to a bigger picture. I don't know. I'm talking to my ass here. What am I talking about? Anyway, Power Rangers Ready said he sent an updated question last minute. No problem. I know we've got quite ourselves quite a few couple of questions that we're going to be tackling today. So we will be getting to your guys' live viewer questions. If you would like to submit over a live viewer question, how do you do so? I'm glad you guys asked. Feel free to submit them over at any point. aplusmorphinominal@gmail.com. Again, aplusmorphinominal@gmail.com. You can go ahead and reach us throughout the week. If there's an episode you watch, news that winds up dropping, Power Month stuff being revealed, if you have a question for us, feel free to submit it over at any particular point in time, and we'll definitely get to them towards the end of our episodes. Let's see here. Just seeing if there was any last minute people that wind up popping in. Hey lady says, I get chills every time I talk about Power Rangers this month. So I appreciate the legacy this month. Most definitely, man. There's been perranger.com over on Twitter. They've been doing a great job. I feel like if there's any part about Power Month that I have really appreciated, it's the effort that perranger.com is doing for over on Twitter. They've been doing like favorite moments, favorite villains, favorite Green Rangers. I feel like they've got something almost like every couple days during the week, and it really gets the community just buzzing and talking about Power Rangers, some of their favorite Rangers and things like that. So yeah, when it comes to the legacy this month, certainly has been very appreciative, and everybody's really doing their best efforts. I honestly feel like YouTubers and Twitter handlers are celebrating Power Month, and I'm sure that's probably what it's meant to be, right? To have the fans truly kind of celebrate it more than anything. And so I do think in that regards, Power Month has probably been rather successful in regards to seeing everybody really highlight and talk about their favorite aspects of Power Rangers. But in regards to like Hasbro trying to pull off something, maybe some work in the future, guys. Maybe some work in the future. All right. I think with that out of the way, I think we should start getting into our topics, don't you think? Let me take a sip of this coffee. We've got 6 topics today, mostly in the world of Power Rangers. We got one Ultraman topic that we'll be talking about with you guys, but for the most part, 6 topics, 5 Power Ranger related. Shout out to DHR2 for certainly coming through. Also, he says, even though this day is that MMPR was born, it's also a sad day that Chadwick Boseman passed away. No, they can't take place the same day. Oh no. R.I.P. Chadwick. Wakanda forever, my guy. We'll definitely miss you, King. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get into this week's topic. And we're going to go ahead and start off with Dino Fury news, ladies and gentlemen. We're inching ever so closely each and every week to brand new episodes. Episode 12 will be here within the next month and a half or so for us to certainly look forward to. And I cannot wait. There are definitely some surprises certainly headed our way. I feel like most of the cast from Power Rangers Dino Fury, if anything, has really teased that there's going to be some great twists and turns and some things that as fans we do not expect to happen in this season happening. They've boasted about it. And we've been getting some updates as of recent. I mean, last week we talked a little bit about the potential of a Lord Zed making his presence felt, even if it might be for a Halloween episode. Who certainly knows? So more details, I'm sure, will definitely start coming out. And once these episodes start airing internationally, I don't know how I'm going to talk about them yet, because I'm not really a big spoiler-ish guy. And I don't mind announcements happening. When I consider things spoiler-ish is sort of how is the reveal, or how is this person or character going to really play its role in the series itself, right? What sort of impact? As long as I don't have that type of information, I'm perfectly cool. I'm cool with announcements, who's coming back, that type of stuff. I just don't want to know how they're integrated and the storyline aspects of how that's all being pulled off. But this week, guys, we got we got Lord Zed last week, some tidbits of information. This week, from the Power Scoop themselves, because they do great work in regards to behind the scenes, whether that be footage of Power Rangers filming, casting members, that's going to be joining the series. The Power Scoop, if you haven't checked them out, certainly go ahead and do so. The Power Scoop blog.wordpress.com. You can just Google the Power Scoop. They'll certainly pop up. But they had a huge announcement in regards to a very familiar face that plans on returning to Dino Fury, ladies and gentlemen. And that is none other than Commissioner Shaw herself. Commissioner Shaw's returning. This is from the Power Scoop. Power Rangers Dino Fury. Teula Blakely is going to be reprising her role as Commander Shaw in Dino Fury. So I went ahead and put up Beast Morphers / Dino Fury. I'll read about this here in a second, but I will say this. Simon Bennett has been very vocal about the hindrances that COVID-19 has put on their production. He's made no secret about it, that when it comes to big team ups or crossover events, we're probably not going to get them this year. Now, if Simon Bennett wants to surprise us with a little bit of something, hey, I'm here for it. But everything that Simon Bennett has said when it comes to big team ups, big crossovers, not happening this year, unfortunately. Keeping my fingers crossed, though. But what I will say is I think Simon Bennett is so genius in the sense that while we can't have big team ups or crossover events, him being able to still use past Power Ranger lore, past Power Ranger Easter eggs, getting familiar faces to certainly return. All that I feel like carries just as much weight of anything than just another team up or crossover event. I really do think, based off of how COVID-19 affected maybe the production and things like that, hindering them from having big crossovers, if you have actors that are clearly still living in New Zealand or are in the area that you can certainly bring in that have past connections to Power Rangers, why not do it? It certainly makes sense. You don't have to worry about flying somebody in, right? It really just kind of takes away the incredible headache that they probably certainly have. So kudos to Simon Bennett for having to alter the way that maybe the season, I don't want to say it messed up storytelling purposes, but I'm sure COVID just threw a wrench in everybody's plans, to certainly say the least. So for him to be able to rebound this way, in a sense of still giving us sort of great Power Ranger lore, great connections without the massive team ups and crossovers, I think what he's doing is certainly going a very long way and filling that void in my heart for crossovers and team ups with just executing stuff like this to perfection. So let's go ahead and dive into this a little bit, because Teula Blakely is in fact returning as Commander Shaw. So let's go ahead and pull this up from the Power Scoop themselves and see exactly what it's saying. Maybe it gives us some further insight into it. What a great face. She got a great smile. We got our first look at Blakely in the role of Commander Shaw in the video clip released back on March 1st of 2019 with the Nick app. And since then, the character has the character of the head of the Grid Battle Force was very popular among fans. Not only was she a strong character and the Blue Ranger Ravi's mother, Ravi was portrayed by Jasmine Badawali, but she was also the first woman commander in Power Rangers history. Commander Shaw is a character that takes her work very seriously, as evidence in initially believing that her son's interest in art as a hobby was a waste of time. With Grid Battle Force, she works to tap into pure morphing grid energy to create substance called Morph X to use as clean energy from the season. For the city. Not only did Blakely appear on screen as Commander Shaw during her time working on Beast Morphers, but she got her start working off screen as the voice of Spyclops in Super Ninja Steel. Spyclops appeared in the episode Tough Love and was disguised as a human named Jess. And now she's back for Dino Fury to reprise the role. Though it is curious to point out that at the end of Beast Morpher, she was announced and promoted to General. Sorry, General Burke. And the Red Ranger, Devin, wind up becoming the title of Commander. Whether Blakely's character still will be referred to on screen as Commander Shaw is yet to be known, and it is unknown where in the overall timeline of Dino Fury and Beast Morphers takes place in relation to each other, which I think is really important. I think if she comes in here sort of as Commander Shaw, then I think we're probably going to be under the assumption that that Dino Fury either takes place congruent to when Dino Fury has, to when Beast Morphers is, so like parallel, or maybe before Beast Morphers. If she comes busting through as General, then I think we're probably under the assumption that this series takes place after Beast Morphers. I clearly think that the Power Scoop is just referring to her as Commander Shaw because that's who we've known her to be as. Now, whether or not that changes as the season progresses or when we get to her her cameo here, we'll definitely know because, yes, she definitely became a general at the end of Beast Morphers. I think this is great. For me, one of my favorite moments when it comes to Commander Shaw came in season 2. If you guys recall, there's a scene where she had to give some backup to the Rangers. And Commander Shaw, I kid you not, literally comes out with like these 2 fucking guns, like just ready for battle. She's got one over her shoulder. She's got the other one pointing at somebody. Like Commander Shaw truly showed her worth that entire season. I was such a big fan of the character. It was one of those things where, one, she was great as the mother of Ravi. I think that's, I don't want to say it's an underrated storyline because I think it was such a pivotal storyline. Like, I feel like Ravi had so much character work in Beast Morphers. I absolutely loved it. But just seeing his relationship with his mom, I thought was just so, just worked on screen so incredibly well. Even if there was kind of pushback of not wanting him to do art, but also appreciating her son and wanting to see him happy and things like that. Great storyline. I think Tiula was able to just bring great heart and really great determination to her scene. Because trust me, as much of a loving mother as she certainly can be at times, she definitely can come down on you and be that commander and be that hard ass and get into you whenever you do something that you're certainly not supposed to. So I always thought she just had a great balance of professionalism, yet also able to portray the ideas of being a mother, right? And it wasn't always, you could see her making tough decisions, right? Having to make compromises here and there. I just thought she just did a phenomenal job. And again, I can't get the double guns like out of my head. Like, she's not just a pretty face. She's ready to kick some ass if she absolutely needs to. And I absolutely love that about her. So if Tiula Blakely is coming back as Dino Fury, this is nothing more than a plus for the series. I do wonder if there's going to be other Beast Morphers characters that will pop up in here. And what I mean by that is Scrozzle. Scrozzle, are you anywhere to be found? Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think he wound up escaping at the end of Dino Fury, or even if they did capture, I think, actually, now I think about it, I think they might have actually captured him, if I'm not mistaken. You guys correct me. But regardless, it's fucking Scrozzle. Like, I've always referred to this guy as like the cockroach of villains. Like, no disrespect to Campbell Cooley, he does phenomenal work in regards to it. But it's just one of those characters that tends to escape or is just a survivor. You know what I mean? So like, if for me, I would love like a Scrozzle return. And if you need somebody to maybe help you in that assistance in bringing Scrozzle in, why not call somebody in like the General? You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see Commander Shaw come back in any way, shape, or form. I do think maybe her return is is a sign that maybe there will be some Beast Morphers connections, obviously. Do I think we're going to get the Beast Morphers team itself, like Jacqueline and Jacqueline and Rory and Jasmeet? Unfortunately, I don't believe so. I could be wrong. I just don't remember a time on Instagram or anything like that where they had to travel or were gone or MIA for a brief period of time. But if you guys recall anything, please go ahead and let me know. So, if they want to surprise me and come back, I'm all for it. I'm just very much under the impression that it's not going to be that big. But Commander Shaw coming through is always going to be big. So I love the fact that we're having some connections from Dino Fury into Beast Morphers to some extent, even if it is just a one-shot episode or whatever the case may be, just continuing to connect the pieces. It's the type of stuff that I absolutely love when it comes to Power Rangers and just the universe that they've certainly have built for us so far. So guys, I want to know your thoughts. Teula Blakely coming back as Commander Shaw or General Shaw for Dino Fury. What do you think this means? Do you have an enemy in mind that Commander Shaw can certainly assist our Dino Fury Rangers with in regards to bringing them down? Do you think this is a connection that maybe Dino Void Knight or whoever else might still be connected to Beast Morphers in some way or another? I kind of want to know your guys' theories into why you personally think Commander Shaw would certainly be returning to Dino Fury. But regardless, is definitely happening. When it happens, who certainly knows, right? I think one of the things that's interesting to take place is that in the Power Scoop article, it doesn't give like an episode number and when we can exactly expect her. But if you guys recall, the commander from RPM was supposed to be in Beast Morphers, and we had gotten the announcement that he was going to be in Beast Morphers, and all season long, Homeboy just like never showed up. I'm sitting around waiting, like, okay, we got Dr. K, but I'm pretty sure the commander from RPM was supposed to be in here, and Homeboy literally didn't pop up until the very last episode, like the last 5 minutes of the show. So I think if anything, who knows when Commander Shaw will certainly pop up, but we'll definitely go ahead and keep you guys posted. And also, I will say this: it's not just Teula Blakely that's returning as Commander Shaw. But if you guys were wondering if we're going to be having ourselves a Christmas special, it seems as though we might, guys, because a very familiar face in John Sumner has in fact been cast as Santa Claus in Dino Fury also, guys. So we talked a little bit about a potential Halloween episode last week. It seems as though now Power Scoop is letting us know that John Sumner is reprising his role as Santa Claus coming into Dino Fury. So Halloween and Christmas special. And then we also have Commander Shaw coming back for Dino Fury also. So some really fun things to definitely look forward to, I think. For me, clearly very anticipated and excited for Commander Shaw. We'll have to see how the Halloween and Christmas episodes certainly go, though. If anything, when it comes to Halloween, I was a big fan of what they did with Beast Morphers. One of my favorite seasons, one of my favorite episodes of the season. Up there, probably easily in like my top 5, maybe. Maybe not top 5. That might be a stretch. Maybe top 10, easy. So I'm hoping they have just as much fun and do just as good of a job as they did with that Halloween special. So guys, I want to know your thoughts. Some familiar faces returning to Dino Fury. Does this heighten your excitement even further for the upcoming season or the rest of the upcoming seasons? Go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. Let me see what you guys are saying real quick here in the live chat. Adam Price says, I heard rumors that Sierra Hannah from Megaforce flew into New Zealand during Dino Fury filming. That would be interesting. She just had a kiddo. I think she was pregnant, wasn't she, during filming for Dino Fury? So I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I know she was also probably included in the Legends of the White Dragon filming also. She's been pretty busy, I feel like. So I don't know if that's true or not. Again, just a rumor, like you said, Adam. So we'll see. Adam says, just sip coffee on each topic. Oh, I will. I will. Power Rangers Ready says, I hope Commander Shaw and Dr. Arcana meet. They are best friends in real life and both are hot moms. To Blue Rangers. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll get a hot mom combination for Dino Fury. Just high five each other. I didn't know that they were friends in real life, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yusai says, if Ravi moms and Ali mom don't have a scene together, I'm gonna effing riot. Just saying, this is the team up we need. Older gorgeousness. I'm sure they appreciate the compliments, guys. Emmanuel says, for real though, I want to know who Ollie's dad is. That would be interesting to find out. That would be very interesting. Power Ranger Legacies, because COVID or not, I'm glad there's no giant crossover. Grid Connection sucked, and the 25th anniversary is nothing but Tommy milking. I hear you. I hear you, Power Ranger Legacy. Marcelino says, I take Commander's cameo. I take a Commander Shaw cameo, even if we don't get a full team up with Beast Morphers. This is the next big thing, or next best thing. I definitely agree with you, Marcelino, for sure. Well, that's a good question. I would like to know what Simon Bennett would do differently if COVID-19 never happened. You know what? I might ask him that question. Marcelino. If I ever get the opportunity, you know what? I'm going to write that down in my list of interview questions because, yes, I am, even though I don't necessarily have an interview set up with him, I always, anytime an interview question comes to mind, I always write it down just because you never know, and you want to be ready. This, what would have been different with Dino Fury had COVID-19 not interfered? And I'll even put that, I'll even put your name next to it, Marcelino, because that was a good question. Because that is something that I am kind of curious to know. I'll even be like, one of our viewers had a question, Simon. Let's see. Power Rangers Races. I wonder if Commander Shaw returning will be like an epilogue during the 1 year later in Beast Morphers. Like possible. That's how the other commander and RPM wind up showing up. So that's always a possibility. What's up, JB? Good to see you in here, man. Thanks for having your presence felt. Enrique says, and is Commander Shaw going to be appearing in Dino Fury Season 2? I would be under the assumption that it's going to be Season 2, but again, we don't have any details in regards to when she could be, when she could be returning. There's no dates as of yet. And it's not like these announcements really come out like the episode just before they wind up airing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll be a great surprise when it happens, though. I almost feel like once we get maybe more episode descriptions, maybe we'll then have a better understanding as to like, this might be an episode that Commander Shaw pops in. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Once we get more episode descriptions, maybe we'll actually be able to pinpoint it. Ooh, Emmanuel says, I bet Commander will give Miss or Dr. Arcana the intuition Ollie's arranger. Oh, interesting. That'd be interesting conversation for Dr. Arcana and Commander Shaw to have. Like, your son's wearing a lot of blue. My son was wearing a lot of blue too when he was a Power Ranger. You might want to ask him some questions. We'll see. Shout out to Caleb for certainly coming through also. Appreciate it. The Game Sense says, I can't wait for the clip show specials. Talking about the holiday specials. So Rob's hopeful. He says, hopefully Christmas specials turn out better in Dino Fury than the previous seasons. I hope so. I hope that there's a level of, listen, we've seen Dino Fury kind of push the envelope already. I mean, we saw hints of it a little bit in Beast Morphers, but now that the creative chains are now off of the writers when it comes to Dino Fury, maybe there is going to be a certain level of effort that we see put into both of these specials that we haven't previously. So we'll see. Not trying to get my hopes too high up, but would be interesting. No, I love I don't remember the Christmas special. I'm talking about the Halloween special when we got the opportunity to see Jacqueline as a Viking. I think we had Rory. Wasn't he like a British police or like a London police or something like that? I just found it funny because I'm not a fan of filler episodes. But if you can make me laugh and you can make it entertaining enough, I'll definitely watch it. But the problem is usually these special episodes are usually not that entertaining, not that funny, and are just clip shows. But I thought that they did a really good job with the Halloween special one. What's up, Datilla? Appreciate you coming through. Johnny's in the house. What's up, Johnny? Appreciate you coming through also. We got Jordan in the house. Also, happy National Power Rangers Day. Good to see you, Jordan. Appreciate it. Enrique, no, we do not know exactly when Commander Shaw will be appearing. She is planning on coming back for Dino Fury. Just don't know if it's in the second half of season 1 or sometime during season 2. But we'll definitely go ahead and keep you guys posted. All right, guys. And with that out of the way, we will go ahead and transition over to our next story, one that I actually found relatively interesting. Ooh, the A Games 10 real quick says, I think Steel's human actor, Sam Jelly, is in New Zealand as well, I heard. So maybe he also comes back. I'm not going to say it's out of the realm of possibility. Commander Shaw and Steel returning. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. All right, guys. And with that out of the way, we will transition over to more Power Ranger stuff. But I thought this was interesting in regards to Power Rangers on YouTube. Over on rangercommand.com, they did a fantastic editorial this week by Josh Moore, who wrote that. It said guest editorial, so I don't know if he normally works with rangercommand.com or not, or they just brought him in because he had a great topic to discuss. But they talked about the idea of Power Rangers on YouTube. It's titled Power Rangers on YouTube Might Not Be Working for You, but it is for Hasbro. Now, for those of you who need a refresher, Power Rangers past seasons used to air over on Netflix. They used to have the entirety of the library over on Netflix. And within the past year or so, with all the things that are moving around when it comes to Hasbro and their ownership of Power Rangers, one of the decisions that Hasbro had was to take the Power Rangers past seasons off of Netflix and transfer them over to YouTube. Now, when this happened, this clearly got some fans in an uproar because of the easy accessibility to watch past Power Ranger shows over on Netflix. And now the only place to see them was in fact going to be over on YouTube. Now, when this announcement happened, one of the things that, if anything, I was worried about, well, I thought it was a great move for Hasbro to certainly do. One of the things that I really worried about was what's the pace of these releases certainly going to be? You know, we've had so many seasons of Power Rangers. Are you going to drop them all at once? Are you going to slowly sort of trickle them out, if you will? Are we going to get random episodes dropping, right? How fast can we get these seasons up? And my biggest concern was it was going to kind of trickle out. And unfortunately, that's the way that it is certainly has happened for some fans. So there are some fans out there that are not thrilled with the idea of Power Rangers being on YouTube, probably mostly because of the fact of how slow they're being, and also the idea that there are still seasons of Power Rangers that are certainly not there. So I understand the outcry for Power Ranger fans that want to see these series brought back to Netflix. But I thought this was an interesting editorial to highlight, as this gentleman wind up actually getting to speak with Hasbro directly to maybe pick their brain a little bit about their decision making in regards to moving it from Netflix over to YouTube. So let's go ahead and highlight this article. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up again. This is from the rangercommand.com. Great source for your Power Ranger news. Great podcast also if you guys are looking for additional Power Ranger commentators. Let's see here. It says Hasbro, a couple of weeks after Netflix Exodus, unveiled its plan to upload the remaining 600 plus Power Ranger episodes in their inventory on YouTube. On paper, that's about as good as it could get. YouTube's free to use. And while it lacks some of the bells and whistles of a Netflix presentation, its platform with as much or more visibility, particularly when it comes to the SEO potential, it will be for the foreseeable future the only streaming home for most Power Rangers content produced before 2019. This is what Hasbro says. It says, while some of our most popular and recent seasons of Power Rangers remained on Netflix for fans to enjoy, include Mighty Morphin, Beast Morphers, and now Dino Fury, we plan to continue to roll out new seasons with our subscription video on demand and or broadcast partners, while making available legacy seasons of this series to fans and new audiences around the world, around the globe, via our official YouTube channel, said when they reached for when reached for comment about the brand's streaming decision. So it says 6 months in, Power Rangers appears more hazardous than the rubble left behind following a Megazord fight. Episodes are regularly uploaded to the primary account, Power Rangers Official, with no readily apparent order in mind, and sans closing credits. Sometimes a season's episode numbers is present, sometimes it's not. Playlists exist for some seasons, but the ones that are due are unreliable. Take Jungle Fury's premiere. Welcome to the Jungle, a two-parter. The first part, uploaded May 6th, is in the playlist encompassing full episodes of the season. The second part, uploaded May 31st, is not. The episode that premiered between the split season opener, 2 from Dino Thunder and 1 from Wild Force, as of August 25th, the final 20 episodes of Jungle Fury had not yet been uploaded. See what I'm talking about? It's all over the place. It does say here, as of this article, publication for only one season, Supercharge, Dino Supercharge, has been fully uploaded to YouTube. It is not available on the main account, though. They live on Power Rangers Kids channel, which has 80 million fewer subscribers and about 80 million more emojis in the episode titles. The subscriber discrepancy is worth noting. Doesn't seem to impact the viewership, though. Episodes on that channel have performed well and frequently better than the uploads to the main one in terms of total viewership numbers. It says, according to Hasbro, the kids channel launched this year in coordination with E1 currently aims to focus kids towards our current series, Dino Fury, hence the presence of those Dino-centric series. The primary channel, on the other hand, exists to deliver full episodes of fan favorite seasons that connect audiences to the current themes and contents happening in the Power Rangers universe in support of what it recognizes as a robust fan audience. So I'm glad that they at least explain the differences between the two, because I was wondering, why are you aiming some series on the kid channel of YouTube but other ones on the official page? So that definitely certainly helps. It says, at a glance, Hasbro has morphed its Power Ranger backlog into a series of commentary-free Let's Play videos released daily, and with a variety of games represented in order to placate the YouTube algorithm. Daily uploads are complemented by concurrent live streams for viewers desperate enough to catch a glimpse of their favorite episode for whatever seasons are in the spotlight in a given week. The episode uploads are I don't know what that means. Think top 10s and best of highlight reels you expect to see from any entertainment focused YouTube. But it does see here, let me see here. It says But for a corporation looking to bolster and maintain its most followed social media accounts, 2.8 users like the Power Rangers Facebook page, and the kids YouTube channel already has about 40,000 more subscribers than the official Twitter account, which has been around since 2010. Power Rangers on YouTube has been more or less more phenomenal. The numbers tell the story the best. Revenge of Zen Aku, the 13th episode of Wild Force, an often less regarded season among fans that aired in 2002, had nearly 130,000 total views a week after it made its channel debut August 18th. It's probably not unfair to wonder if that's the same episode reach. If that same episode reached 100,000 plays on Netflix in the entirety of 2020. This is what Hasbro said. It says, "We believe that the content choices on both channels allow fans and kid audiences to view current and relative Power Ranger content and provide an additional connection between entertainment and toy worlds. The YouTube channel allows more audiences free access to Power Ranger content for old fans looking for nostalgia and new fans discovering Power Rangers for the first time. In addition, legacy seasons and episodes will continue to be featured weekly on our Power Rangers official channel." So I will tell you this, if anything, I feel like we've talked about this before, guys. And again, if you want to check out the entirety of the article, it's currently up on rangercommand.com. I would highly recommend it. But one of this, I think it does bring up a good point here for Hasbro. I love the fact that the editor in here questions the idea if that one Wild Force episode alone got 130,000 views over on YouTube and isn't even quite sure if it reached that same capacity over on Netflix for the entirety of the season. We wanted to know whether or not financially this certainly makes sense. And I guess for me, it would be the idea that, look, if you have your past seasons over on Netflix and Netflix wants to either re-up your deal for having those past seasons over on Netflix, or if you want to find, or maybe Netflix didn't want to renew them for all I know. I think the idea that you're able to make that decision for yourself and take your content off of Netflix, as easily accessible it is for some people, it's now even more easily accessible for those that are on YouTube. I mean, as many eyes as YouTube winds up getting on a daily basis, I think that's a great place to certainly put your content. Now, the execution of it hasn't been doing very well whatsoever, but I do think the idea, the benefit comes from that episode of Wild Force that you see right there, right? Hasbro has the ability to monetize that video if it certainly wants to. And if you're monetizing a video that's over 130,000 views for one episode, mind you, that's not even counting the plethora of other episodes that you have from Power Rangers up there. I got to think Hasbro's getting a nice little kickback from YouTube in regards to revenue, whether that be from ads posted, things that they're posting up there on their own, if any. I gotta think that they're just swimming in money right now, because who knows how much Netflix might have offered them, if they offered them anything. If anything, I feel like maybe they just were not performing that well over on Netflix, because some people maybe just don't want to have the pay, say, $20 a month or whatever the case may be to get Netflix if they don't have Netflix, whereas YouTube is free and accessible certainly to anybody. So as a Power Ranger fan, while I'm disappointed in the execution that's happening over on YouTube, I do believe that this is very much like the article states. This is probably going to be the future of where Power Rangers goes later on. A lot of the past seasons are definitely going to be here. So if you're wanting to find past seasons of Power Rangers, if you don't have the DVDs or physical media for it, YouTube is probably going to be the place to be, because financially it probably does a much better job than what these episodes certainly were doing over on Netflix. So great article, man. Great piece. And I don't know if that article alone is going to, what's the word I'm looking for? subside some of the worries, if you will, that some fans have about it. But I do hope that maybe it puts a little bit more into perspective as to the choice as to why Hasbro certainly decided to go the route that they certainly wanted to in this regards. It also says it says Hasbro and E1 say that they want Power Rangers on YouTube to be a discovery platform for new fans and a way for existing fans to rediscover old favorites. But their terms of engagement are clearly directed at the former group. You will be allowed to see only what they offer and on their schedule, which for Gen Z on Borders is going to be just fine. For longtime fans, the thought of possibly having to wait until November to see the final episodes of Jungle Fury uploaded might be excruciating. For people experiencing the season for the first time, Hasbro likely has reasons to think that they'll meet each upload with anticipation, that every new episode will be an event unto itself. Power Rangers on YouTube offers a possible window into what it might look like if a child were asked to program a 24/7 Power Rangers network. The result is a rainbow coated sugar rush that really is not that much different from the experience I sought to achieve last National Power Rangers Day. If you're a newcomer to the brand or a returning fan who hasn't engaged in Mighty Morphin, even I can see the appeal of a scatter shot. What am I going to get next approach, even with the occasional 15-second ad sprinkled into the equation. So longtime fans don't have to be happy with Power Rangers on YouTube in its current state. I'd argue they shouldn't, which I definitely agree. It is part of our streaming reality. Don't like it? Track down the Shout Factory collection and DVD player, but make haste. As we've seen last year, change can occur at a light speed. So yeah, great perspective, I think, in regards to why Hasbro is doing what they're doing in regards to Power Rangers now on YouTube. I think you can see the benefits that there certainly are for whether that be new audiences, returning fans also. But I do think, again, the biggest issue that I think, if anything, that the fans have probably had, I don't even think it's the idea of accessibility of, oh man, it's on Netflix, now it's on YouTube. I don't even know if that's even the biggest worry or concern that fans have. I think, if anything, it's how they've executed it and how sloppy it's been. And while they have a game plan, clearly, that they tell you why they're releasing certain shows on certain channels, why they're trickling it out the way that they do, it definitely is. I feel like every fan certainly has the right to be disappointed in how this is certainly being executed. But I'm sure once we get more seasons, however long that's going to take, maybe in a year or two, we'll look back on this and think, maybe we'll not even remember that we had this debacle, if you will. But I definitely understand why Hasbro's doing what they're doing. Just wish it was executed a lot better, guys. But I want to know your thoughts. Have you had the opportunity to check out some Power Ranger episodes from the past over on YouTube? How have you liked it moving over there? Has it hindered your enjoyment of watching the series at all? Definitely go ahead and let me know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. Well, let me see if I can jump into these live questions or these live comments and see what you guys are saying. We got Brian in the house. What's up, Brian? Appreciate you coming through. Good to see you. Enrique says, do you think Samurai and Super Samurai will appear on YouTube? I'm sure that they will. When that'll happen, who certainly knows? I mean, like the guy said, they're still waiting for the last 20 episodes of Jungle Fury. Who knows how long that's certainly going to take? I know Dino Thunder, I believe, is certainly up and going. It seems as though a lot of the Dino-centric stuff that they have, like they mentioned in the article, is very Power Ranger Kid YouTube. So if anything, I almost expect Samurai to probably be released on the official Power Ranger page at some Power Ranger YouTube page at some point in time. Koala says Power Rangers is going on to YouTube, Netflix next year. Yeah, Dino Fury will be shown over on Netflix along with any. I'm assuming they haven't announced that this is going to be the home of Power Rangers in the future, but I would assume any other Power Ranger content will probably be more likely released on Netflix. Emmanuel says videos reaching 100,000 views, dinero dropping soon. I hope this is the future. Yeah, I mean, if you're breaking 100,000 views per episode, I mean, I got to think that they're definitely getting a great kickback for sure. Ram Jam, what's up, Ram Jam? Hey, Adam, how's it going? Sorry, I'm late to the party. Hey, man. Don't worry about it. You're here. You're enjoying Power Rangers, celebrating Power Ranger Day with us. That's all that matters, man. That's all that matters. Mm-mm. We got Mikey Nerd Talk in the house. What's up, Mikey? Good to see you in here, man. Thank you for certainly coming through. Samurai episodes. There you go. Somebody asked about Samurai episodes. The A Game 10 cents Samurai episodes is actually being live streamed on the official YouTube channel. Check it out, guys. Check it out if you want to go ahead and revisit Samurai. I will say this, like I there are times I'll get notifications on my phone, like a new episode of Power Rangers is starting or something like that on YouTube. They do some pretty cool designs for their thumbnails. What's up, Ill? Good to see you, Ill. Never watched a Power Ranger show before, so I might check it out since it's on YouTube. Yeah. If you guys have any recommendations for Ill in regards to what's series of Power Rangers, he should probably go ahead and check out on YouTube. Throw in some suggestions for sure. Brian says, is Megaforce going to upload on YouTube or not? I highly expect it to, Brian. I'm pretty sure it certainly will. Again, the big question is when and how long is it going to take? Because they're not going to be dropping it seasons at a time. If anything, they're just going to be dropping it sort of, periodically. You might get maybe 1 or 2 episodes a week. It's just going to be periodic, but it will be coming, Brian. It will be coming, Brian. All right, guys. And with that out of the way, if anything, we will go ahead and transition over to our next topic, which our next topic continues to be in the world of Power Rangers, obviously. But if anything, hold on. Oh, I just want to bring this up real quick. Emmanuel says, if a full season live stream reached 5 million views or 700 likes, it's safe to release full episodes. Okay. Megaforce is live streaming right now. Damn, so we got Megaforce live streaming now, Samurai live streaming now. What's going on? I guess maybe for Power Month, they decided to go ahead and just drop a bunch of stuff. Adam, were you the one that just brought up the Sierra Hannah? He says, I heard rumors that Sierra Hannah might have flew to New Zealand for Dino Fury. Could this be true? She obviously says she wasn't coming back even before the 24th anniversary. Even Chen from Dino Thunder said that until the 25th anniversary. I'm not expecting her to. If those are rumors, I haven't heard too much about it. Again, I believe Sierra Hannah just had a kiddo. I don't know how old her kiddo is, or if she was pregnant, maybe even during the filming of Dino Fury. Not to say that if she's pregnant, they can't have her on the show. I'm sure they probably could have found something for her to do, but I haven't heard anything in regards to that. But if it comes to fruition, I love Sierra Hannah. I thought she was probably one of the bright spots of Megaforce. So I would be all for it if she did, but I don't. Again, clearly just rumor. I haven't heard too much about it, but I'll look into it even more. All right, guys. Our next topic to continue to go ahead and celebrate Power Month around here as we wrap up this season, or we wrap up this month along with National Power Ranger Day. More Lightning collection, guys. More figures headed your way. And I think this is a set of figures that I think people are going to be really excited about. We've seen teases of this set coming out for quite some time now. I can't remember if they had a toy fair somewhere, maybe in Brazil or something a couple months back, where they showcased the Ecliptor and Astronema 2-pack. It's here, guys. It's here. We wind up getting a rollout and some brand new photos for this Lightning collection group. So not only do we get Ecliptor and Astronema right now, here are a couple of other, I'll bring up some full screen photos for you guys. I absolutely love Ecliptor. I always thought Ecliptor's costume design was one of the coolest in all of Power Rangers. And anytime I see it to this day, it still kind of gives me chills. I really just dig the design. But we got Astronema in here. These two characters literally just had a huge spotlight in Boom Studios comic books, Power Rangers Unlimited, telling the story of a young Astronema and how she wind up becoming into the power that she currently has today. So the fact that they're really pushing forward with this Lightning Collection combination certainly does not surprise me. If there is a combination that feels like it's warranted for these two characters to be together, it's definitely this one, guys. So I think they look great. Again, while I'm not necessarily the biggest collector of Power Rangers action figures, this is something I definitely wouldn't mind having for myself, honestly. Really big fan of it. But the other design, the other character that actually wind up popping up in here, which I did not expect at all, is Finster. I was trying to find an even closer up view of Finster so you guys can see, but the attention to detail in Finster is unbelievable. Whether that be the head sculpt, whether that be sort of his mechanical overalls, if you will, right? He's got all his tools in his little pockets, the creases of the fabric and stuff. I think Finster looks incredible. I truly do. I did not know that they have plans on doing him for a Lightning Collection piece, but I'm actually a really big fan of this and what this looks like. So I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think in regards to both of these. So not only do we have Finster, but again, we've got Ecliptor along with Astronema. Let me go ahead and bring up this article, though, from TokuNation.com that has a little bit of insight in regards to these characters. It does say 3 new figures have been confirmed for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. First up is the long-teased Power Rangers in Space 2-pack featuring the iconic Astronema and her loyal guardian Ecliptor. This set will cost $52.99, so about $53, and is scheduled to release in April 2022. In addition, another villain joins the fray from the legendary Mighty Morphin monster maker. Finster joins the Lightning Collection, complete with his case of Putty Patrol soldiers ready to bake. Oh, that's pretty cool. Finster will cost $26.50, so almost $27, and is scheduled to release also in April 2022. Both these Lightning Collection releases will be exclusive to Amazon. I don't know if there was a pre-order up or not. You guys might want to go ahead and check that out over on Amazon. But again, the 2-pack will be available on Amazon along with Finster as well, guys. So if your wallet wants to be a little bit more empty, you know exactly where to go ahead and send your money to. So definitely go ahead and check those out over on Amazon if you guys are curious about them. But yeah, I would love to know what you guys think, if anything. Emmanuel says, yes, MMPR villains, not Rangers from the show. Yeah, I think they also released, I believe, wasn't Pudgy Pig, I think, supposed to be released also at some particular point in time. Emmanuel says, I'm fine with MMPR, just not their Rangers from the show or cell-shaded versions. I kind of dug the cell-shaded ones. I even enjoyed the metallic ones that they wind up designing. But I definitely understand where you're coming from, Emmanuel. Power Ranger Legacy says, sorry, but Finster is from MMPR, but that's okay. This is for Robert Axelrod. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Koala says, I love the toys. Big fan of the toys. But yeah, guys, it should be pretty cool. If anything, Doomsday says, oh, awesome. I'm loving the Lightning Collection. Yeah, I definitely agree. They definitely come up with some incredible designs. I think Loretta Masters is doing a remarkable job behind the scenes and helping flesh out some of these characters, really sculpting them fantastically well. But yeah, these 3, it's clearly not a wave, but I think these are some really great additions just in regards to their design, especially, and just the importance of some of these characters. So I am really looking forward to seeing what they do next. All right, guys. With that out of the way, though, we will go ahead and move on to our next couple of topics. Real quick, though, before we transition, for those of you who don't know, yesterday was August 27th, and in celebration for Power Rangers, the new um, Power Rangers role-playing game, if you will, that was streaming live on Twitch, titled Day of Destiny, officially dropped yesterday. I don't know if any of you guys got the opportunity to check it out. I certainly haven't as of yet. I'll try and see if I can look for it. I don't know how long the episode itself was, but I would be interested in dabbling in it, at least maybe the first couple of episodes, just to kind of see what they're kind of presenting to us. I did see George Jr. over on Twitter as of yesterday, I believe, live tweeting during the actual game itself. I only read a couple of his posts. I didn't read all of them because a part of me wants to kind of see how this kind of all turns out for myself. So I definitely will be checking it out. But it seemed pretty interesting. I mean, George Jr. definitely got pretty hyped and pumped for it. And I know some of you fans were big fans of Power Rangers Hyperforce. I was about to say Hyperspace for Hyperforce. So I'm curious, if you watched Hyperforce, are you also watching Day of Destiny? And if so, did you check out episode 1? I definitely would love to know your guys' thoughts in regards to that. The reason why I bring that up today is because of the fact that if you are a big fan of Power Rangers role playing, you're in for a treat because there is a new tabletop RPG for Power Rangers that is set to go ahead and debut for you guys. This is the artwork for, I believe, the RPG book, or maybe the case itself. I'm not quite sure. But this is illustrated by Dan Mora, one of my favorite Power Ranger artists. Heck, one of my current favorite one of my favorite artists in general. He's currently tackling the Detective Comics for Batman and doing some incredible work. How he finds time to do anything else on the side, whether that be designs for an RPG game, cover art for Power Rangers, the additional guest artists from time to time sort of thing. I feel like Dan Moore's schedule is super busy. But if you guys are fans of Power Rangers RPG games, there is a new tabletop certainly headed your way. And I wanted to go ahead and give you guys some insight in regards to it. Now, tabletop, listen, as big of a nerd as I am, one of the aspects of nerddom, geekdom, that I never have gotten into, or maybe I just honestly have not had the opportunity to sit down and just dive myself into the world, is tabletop RPG games. I don't want to say it's odd for me because, like, growing up as a kid, I loved RPG games when it comes to video games. Like, I fell on Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is one of the reasons why I got myself a PlayStation to begin with. And from Final Fantasy VII all the way up until like 12, you couldn't get me away from an RPG game. I absolutely loved RPGs, but it just never transitioned over from video game to tabletop games. So while I don't necessarily know if this is something that I myself am going to purchase, I am rather fascinated by it. And I am sure that there are some tabletop RPG fans out there that are pretty fascinated by it. So I definitely wanted to highlight it for you guys today. So let's go ahead and dive into it, because this comes to us from Forbes. That's right, guys. Forbes.com has an inside look at the Power Rangers role-playing game. I didn't think I would ever be reading anything Power Ranger related on Forbes, but they're tackling the insides and outs of the tabletop RPG. So it says, the resurgence and popularity of games like Dungeons and Dragons has set game designs in search of new worlds to explore via role-playing games. Ahead of Renegade Con on August 27th and the 28th, today, it says senior producer of role-playing games for Renegade gave us an exclusive look into the Power Rangers role-playing game core rulebook and the new system that powers this line of tabletop RPG. So I'm assuming this is the rulebook design that we're seeing here. It says the Essence role-play system is a D20 based system that uses what I call a fashion plate system for character design, drawing from three aspects. What type of person are they? What is their function as part of the team, and what experiences have they had in their life prior to becoming a hero? Those elements, known as origin, role, and influence, come together to build a new Power Ranger ready to battle the forces of evil. I think that sounds dope as fuck. Essence uses dice to represent different skill or power levels. Rather than only using different dice for damage rolls, the game gives players the satisfying feeling of tossing a big handful out onto the table. When rolling skills tests, and attack rolls, a player will always roll a d20 plus the applicable die for the type of roll they are making, resulting in a total that must exceed the skill test difficulty in order to succeed. Essence 20 also includes a ladder mechanic where a character has specialized in a particular skill. They may roll their skill die plus every other die type under it, choosing the highest die result to add in their d20 roll. A critical success is made when a skill die shows its higher number, giving a huge chance of rolling crits, mathematical, and of course being able to role play those epic results in the most heroic way possible. This sounds, to me, for a guy who hasn't played an RPG tabletop, right over my head, guys, right over my head. It says one of the most common consequences in games for bad rolls or bad plans is character death. The idea of heroes dying at the hands of the bad guys in Power Ranger games doesn't seem like a good fit. So the designers went another route for those dark moments when the villains have the upper hand. This is what they say. Power Ranger characters don't die. Your team may lose against a threat, and your character may be taken out of combat, but there is no lethal damage to player characters in the game. If defeated, your team may face dire consequences, but that just gives an opportunity for another adventure in which you may approach the task at hand in a different way. Now, listen, we have had Power Ranger characters die. It doesn't happen very often, but it does. I don't play tabletop RPGs. So I don't know if this is a good thing for the tabletop RPG community or a bad thing to not have your Power Ranger characters die. At least there's some consequences, though, that you do have to deal with. It says the first series debuted in 1993 as a show, yada, yada, yada. The first book in this tabletop game, the first book covers the first 6 seasons of the show, though players could also use the 2017 Power Rangers reboot as an example of how to update the concepts of the show. I think that's actually pretty cool. So the first book covers the first 6 seasons of the show. It says it covers the time when Zordon was the mentor of the Power Rangers. This core rule book focuses on Angel Grove and the command center as a central base of action, with Zordon and Alpha 5 as the contact points for missions, and Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed as the main villains behind the threats characters will face. So yeah, more MMPR for you guys in regards to that. I think this is cool, man. I think this is actually pretty cool. Again, I've never played a tabletop RPG in my life, but there is something super appealing to it. I mean, I've watched Stranger Things over the past 4 seasons, and when I started watching that season, I saw that they were big into like Dungeons and Dragons playing and things like that. The actor Joe Manganiello, even hosted like Hasbro's Dungeon and Dragon Q&A panel last year, I think, at Hasbro PulseCon, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't realize how big tabletop RPGs were in Dungeons and Dragons. It's almost like the younger generation that used to play that is now older and more grown up, and now they have the capacity to kind of spread the love of tabletop RPG to so many out there in the world. So I think it's great. While it's something that I personally don't dabble in, I think this sounds hella fun. I wouldn't mind maybe sitting down for a game and being introduced to the tabletop RPG world. It's just something I hope I don't get sucked into. And because I have a feeling that maybe tabletop RPGs, I wonder if that's an expensive hobby to dive into. Like I see Magic the Gathering, I see Dungeons and Dragons buying the cards, the tabletop pieces, and things like that. I just can't imagine how much money people are dishing over for this content. It feels very similar to how I am um when it comes to comic books. You know, I'll go to a comic book store and I'll drop almost $50 on comics just because they're so damn expensive these days. They can be a really expensive hobby. And I'm wondering if that's the same thing that happens when it comes to tabletop games. But if you guys play tabletop RPG games, you hear some of the details about this particular game. Are you interested in picking up a Power Rangers role-playing game? Definitely go ahead and let me know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, because I do think that's actually pretty freaking cool. And it does give you a sense of the time period in which the game it's taking place between seasons 1 through 6, or at least encompassing during that time period. So we definitely got I'm assuming we definitely got the Mighty Morphin stuff in there, probably got the Turbo stuff, some Zeo work in there also. Maybe some dabbling of some Alien Rangers might pop up in there, some In Space for all we know. So it sounds like it's a pretty fun game. But definitely go ahead and check out more information for you guys if you can. But I wanted to bring that up for you. Again, that's from Forbes.com with the exclusive first look, as they've got Renegade Con happening this weekend. The first day was yesterday, and today is the second. So maybe we'll see after this convention if any more details wind up rolling out for you guys. But I am curious to know what you guys think. Yeah, I don't even know if any of you guys are big Doomsday does say that sounds freaking awesome. Yeah, I definitely do agree. All right, guys. And with that out of the way, oh, you know what? I wanted to see if you guys had checked out Day of Destiny. I thought I saw somebody mention it up here. Manuel says, so is Day of Destiny exclusively on Twitch or just premiered there? You know, I don't know. I was actually going to check YouTube and see if anybody posted it up on YouTube. Like, I think you might have to watch it exclusively on Twitch when it's airing live. But I do wonder if they plan on taking that content and moving it over to YouTube also. If not, I would just check on Twitter first. I don't know what it's listed under. If anything, I would just put in maybe Day of Destiny and see what kind of searches pop up. Adam says, I wonder if reason has Hyperforce Season 2 wasn't picked up with the same cast. Maybe Saban only picked up Season 1 exclusively and didn't want the second season with the same cast, my guess. You know, that's a good question. I would be interested to ask Andre, the black nerd, black comedy nerd. I would love to ask him that question. I'm wondering if he's ever spoken out about like why there hasn't been a Season 2 as of yet. Interesting theory, Adam. I don't know though. And, you know, I wonder like what the viewership was, if it was well received, if it wasn't, you know, maybe they felt the idea of the, I don't know, unless they just had something completely else in mind, and maybe that's why they decided to unveil Day of Destiny instead. Maybe it was like a training run to see how it would be received. And then maybe they decided, let's go ahead and do something a little bit more non-canonical. I don't know. He said, although I didn't find Hyperforce per my taste, it was certainly a bold step for Power Rangers. I will give them credit for that. I definitely agree with you. I love what they were able to accomplish with Hyperforce. And we got ourselves an official team out of it also. Power Rangers Ready says, Hyperforce, amazing concept and storytelling, just don't like it's 3 hours. Yeah, there was I think for me that was probably what drew me away from Hyperforce, was the idea of having to sit down for 2 to 3 hours just to watch how things kind of unfolded. And for me, I think like I think if the storyline itself lasted 3 hours, maybe I would be a little bit more understanding than that. But there were just some moments when watching Hyperforce where I just felt like the cast and crew just kind of jumped the shark at times and would get off topic. And there's nothing wrong with them playing around and laughing and having a good time. But when I got other shit to do, You know, I got to sit around for 2-3 hours to get through the story. And then half the time you guys are like effing around, not making decisions as to what your next moves are going to be and laughing. And so I'm like, look, guys, can we make some decisions here in regards to like what's the next step and progression for your characters and your stories? So sometimes that was a little bit annoying for me just because I knew how long those episodes were. So I'm kind of curious, like, again, I don't have a problem with people laughing and having a good time and, you know, enjoying the game in whatever way. But for me as a viewer, again, the idea of 3 hours was just tough to sit through. But for some people, certainly can. They had some great moments on the show. Love the storyline, love the cast. I'm glad that Hyperforce has worked its way into canon, whether that be just mostly on the Boom Studios side of things. But regardless, I've been a big fan. Bringing Erica Hill back as Jennifer, the first episode of Hyperforce, was epic. Totally agree. Definitely established this main plot. Get it like it was a real continuation of Dino Force. Yeah, and I think that's what I loved about Hyperforce 2 was the overall connections that it had to past Power Rangers seasons. Some of the cameos that they were able to pull, have some people like the actors themselves come into this RPG world and play. Maybe some of these characters, you know, I don't even know if Erica Hill's ever played a tabletop or RPG game in her life. But to be able to bring in some of these actors to play along and have fun with telling these stories, I thought it was a really cool concept. So I'm glad in a way that they kept Day of Destiny, but I will be interested to tackle it myself and see exactly how that story is. But guys, again, let me know your thoughts. Are you into big tabletop RPG games? If so, what do you think about this Power Ranger game that's headed your guys' way? Do you plan on picking it up? Even if you don't play, are you fascinated and thinking about it? Definitely go ahead and let me know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, guys. And with that out of the way, what's up, S. Karoma? Good to see you in here. Thank you for certainly coming by. He says, hi, Adam. What podcast here? We're talking about the Day of Destiny RPG Power Ranger game that's streaming over on Twitch. I believe yesterday was episode number 1. So if you guys want to go ahead and check it out, please do. But we just finished highlighting an actual tabletop RPG game for Power Rangers for them to go ahead and enjoy also. All right, guys, we've got 2 more topics left. If I could be honest with you, I have not read this article yet. This will be the first time I'm dabbling into it. But I thought it was interesting because last week we talked about the brand new announcement for Boom Studios in regards to an upcoming limited series that they focused on, or that they're going to be focusing on here, that's really going to be expanding the Power Rangers universe in regards to finally tackling the Phantom Ranger backstory and history a little bit, the mystery behind it, along with other Power Ranger series as well. So this week, guys, as we get a little bit further insight in regards to Power Rangers universe, which is not set to go ahead and debut until, again, a limited series, not until December of this year. But this week, comicbook.com had an exclusive interview with the creative team behind Power Rangers universe. And I'm sorry, guys, I keep scratching my nose. I promise I don't got no boogers. It's just my damn mustache every once in a while kind of tickles it. And so when I talk, I keep like brushing out of the way, keep scratching my nose. But yeah, so I'm not picking my nose, I promise. But yeah, Power Rangers universe is coming, and comicbook.com had the opportunity to sit down with some of the creative team, and this is my first time getting the opportunity to read this and see exactly who is fully attached to this. So this should be fun to learn an experience to see what this series and this creative team is going to be bringing us. So it says the Power Ranger comic universe is ready to expand once again with a limited series titled Power Ranger Universe. The new series will focus on the Phantom Ranger, though it will also branch out and explore new areas of the Ranger and Morphin Grid mythology. We previously knew that the series would be drawn by artist Simone Ragazzoni, but now we have learned who will be writing this series, and we can exclusively reveal that the writer of Power Rangers Universe is Nicole Andelfinger. Interesting last name. Love it. And Andelfinger couldn't be more thrilled to join Power Rangers universe and help make it even more expansive. She says, my 12-year-old self and current self are screaming. When the Power Ranger team comes knocking at your door, of course you say yes. I'm so honored and excited to be part of the Power Ranger universe, and I can't wait to help expand the universe just a little bit more for fans new and old to enjoy. So presenting Nicole Andelfinger, she will in fact be writing Power Rangers universe for us. Andelfinger is known for her work on fan favorite franchises like Jim Henson's Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. What? I didn't know that. Regular Show, Rugrats, and Steven Universe, as well as her work on graphic novels for the hit series An Ember in the Ashes and Netflix's The Dragon Prince. That's pretty cool. I can't lie. I didn't know that she was attached. First off, a little bit of a bummer that Jim Henson's Dark Crystal Age of Resistance did not get a season 2. It was an incredible show. I would recommend it to anybody, especially if you're a big fan of puppets. I thought they really pulled out all the stops for that show. I'm really bummed it didn't get a second season. But it says, she also says, this is from Daphne, the senior editor. She says, Power Rangers Universe is a bold new event that dives deep into the heart of what makes this hit series about superpowered teens saving the world such a beloved and enduring franchise. We're incredibly excited to have Nicole, a talented writer who brings years of experience working with iconic characters and a lifelong passion for Power Rangers, on board with artist Simone Ragazzoni to tell stories you've all been waiting for. It says, the Power Rangers universe will put the Phantom Ranger back in the spotlight, exploring one of the franchise's most intriguing and mysterious characters in a new way. And you can find the official description in the series below. What is the true origin of the Phantom Ranger? And what is his connection to the morphing grid? From the moment he first appeared 24 years ago, fans have wondered about the origins of the powerful and mysterious Phantom Ranger and how they tie to the greater Ranger universe. Questions which have never been answered until now in the game-changing series event that no Power Ranger fan can afford to miss. And then again, Power Rangers Universe #1 will hit stores in December. So I'm assuming this is Simone Ragazzoni, the artist. I'm assuming that's him. And then this is, in fact, the writer of Power Ranger Universe in Nicole Andelfinger. I got to be honest. I think this is really cool. I've always been I've been a big fan of Simone Ragazzoni's work. I think I've talked about this last week, I believe, when we talked a little bit about Power Rangers Universe. For those of you who missed it, I didn't mind his artwork in the Lord Draken limited series that we wind up getting. The issue that I had was his artwork attached to the colorist. I just wasn't the biggest fan of that combination. So it was very hit or miss for me when it comes to that Draken mini limited series. But those of you who read Power Rangers Unlimited with Astronema, that's Simone Ragazzoni as well, whose artwork extremely pops off the page in that one shot that we wind up getting. So I've definitely seen hit and miss from Simone, because I do think it all comes down to whoever's coloring his artwork. I don't know who the colorist is going to be for Power Rangers Universe, but I'm pumped that he's going to be back. And I do believe that him. There's also another guy that was it Moises Hidalgo, I believe. He's usually another guest artist that pops up in Mighty Morphin or Power Rangers from time to time. Those are the two other artists that I think have been really getting some shine when it comes to Power Rangers. Like, if they need a guest artist to come in, Simone and Moises have done amazing work. So I am looking forward to seeing what Simone is going to be able to do with Power Ranger Universe. But the fact that they've tapped Nicole Andelfinger, to go ahead and write this, I think is a huge win. Again, some of the work that she's done on Rugrats, Dark Crystal stuff really top of the line stuff. So she definitely knows what she's doing. A very competent writer. And if you ask me, that's definitely going to be a win for the Power Rangers universe. And I know there are big Phantom Ranger fans out there for sure also. So to kind of see Homeboy get even more spotlight, because I think he had a spotlight episode or issue in Power Rangers Unlimited, also another one-shot issue. And so now to see that they're going to be continuing to explore that character in Power Rangers universe, I think it's a win for everybody in here, especially for the character of Phantom Ranger, because I think they've got a great writer attached to this for sure. So I want to know your guys' thoughts. The writer has been revealed. Look, Marcelino even says, I love regular show and Steven Universe. So that's the type of level we're going to be getting. Let's see here. Kareem, what's up, Kareem? Good to see you in here also. Thank you very much for certainly coming through. Power Rangers Day says hashtag Team Mustache. Yeah, I'm gonna have to trim it. I have to trim it though. Emmanuel says, regular show is the shit. The RPM of Cartoon Network. Oh, very nice. Very nice. So clearly, there are some people that, as Karoma, I love Steven Universe. Blossom says, when you mentioned the Dark Crystal, you had me at Jim Henson. He's one of my creative influences. I can see that for sure, Blossom. Jim Henson just has a huge range of influence from sure in any level of artistry, I feel like. So I definitely see where you're coming from for sure. Not even necessarily a love of puppets, right? But like, I just think what he was able to create, some of the leaps in technology that I think Jim Henson wind up influencing and bringing forward to, television and movies and things like that. His influences can't be unrecognized at all. So I'm glad that that popped up at you. But yeah, first off, even Johnny Marrero says, I'm really looking forward to Power Rangers universe. He says, Johnny also says this cover has Forever Red vibes all over it. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It really does. He says, yes, Jim Henson is a genius from puppets to his own imagination, creativity. Yusai says, the cover even has some Hyperforce love. I wonder if they could continue this series in a way with a comic or a few one-offs. I hope that's a direction that they go, Yusai. I think that would be fantastic. Because, yeah, not only do we get MMPR Red, we got Turbo Red there, which I'm assuming is TJ, Hyperforce Red, Omega Red, and we even got Lauren from freaking Samurai in here, which I appreciate that they're giving her some love. Last time that we saw her was the Shattered Grid storyline. But I will say, I have not watched Steven Universe. I have not watched the regular show. So the fact that you guys are familiar with Nicole Andlefinger's work, I think really does say something. So if you guys are big fans of those shows and things like that, and you love the storytelling aspects, just imagine what that same writing or that same person that's writing could do when they get their hands on Power Rangers. I definitely do think it would be a worthy pickup for you guys, especially if you're big fans of that show. Continue to go ahead and show Nicole your support for sure then, because who knows what her future could hold when it comes to Power Rangers. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, go ahead and let me know your thoughts on the writer being revealed and your levels of enthusiasm for this limited series. Again, Power Rangers Universe #1 dropping this December. So go ahead and check it out. All right, guys. And our last topic for the day before we get into your guys' live viewer questions. Sorry, I'm just looking at the live chat. Yusei says, I hope it's TJ. I feel like they forget that Tommy personally picked him to succeed his legacy. Like we know they ride Tommy's, till the end of time. Put respect on TJ's name. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm assuming it's TJ. I'm assuming it's TJ also. Yeah, I really hope that it's not that it's not Tommy. I don't know. For me, I think the reason why I think it's probably TJ is I think just based off of the other Rangers that they have, like, I don't want to say obscure Rangers, but a very like very diverse group of Rangers in here. Hyperforce, right? Like, who would have ever thought Hyperforce would be on this cover? Lauren, Omega Ranger Red is up in her also. So the idea of like TJ being the red Turbo Ranger here just makes a lot of sense to me. But who knows? I'm hoping that's TJ under that helmet. I feel like I recognize TJ more as Turbo Red almost than I do in Space Blue. I don't know if that's blasphemous or not, but I always see TJ first as a leader in Turbo Red before I see him as blue in space. All right, guys. One last topic that we're going to go ahead and explore for you guys is in the realm of Ultraman. Now, we just talked about Ultraman Trigger. Episode 6 just wind up dropping as of yesterday. Incredible effing episode. I cannot wait to go ahead and record a review for it later on today for you guys. But Ultraman is back in the news because we talked last week about an announcement that came up for the Ultraman Netflix series. One of the things that we mentioned in the article was that the voice actor that portrayed the first Ultraman in season 1 has dropped out of the series. He's moving on to do other things. And we were kind of curious as to where that left Ultraman season 2. They've been talking it up for quite some time that we're supposed to be getting ourselves a season 2. Well, it's been over 2 years since season 1 on Ultraman premiered over on Netflix. And with the departure of the voice actor to play Ultraman, one of the things that I said here on the show was, I don't know what's going to happen. It's been over 2 years. Are they going to replace the voice actor with somebody else? Does this mean their plans for a season 2 are out the window? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's back. It's back. Ultraman season 2 premiere officially announced, ladies and gentlemen. So no hiccups for for Ultraman on Netflix. Now that I'm assuming, if anything, they've acquired themselves a new voice actor to go ahead and tackle this Ultraman. But season 2 will in fact be here, guys. So they definitely surprised me with this one. So let's dive into it and see if we can see exactly what this official announcement says. And get a little bit of a better look. So it says, still waiting for when season 2 of Ultraman, and again, this is from jefusion.com, a great Japanese entertainment blog. So check them out, jefusion.com. It says, still waiting for the second season of Ultraman CGI anime series will premiere. Then worry no more, as the premiere for season 2 has been announced. As seen in the teaser trailer, the second season of Ultraman will premiere next spring of 2022. And that's not all. It was also announced that a live action version of the Ace suit will be debuting also. And they did highlight this little, I think this is supposed to be for the Ace suit. I'm not quite sure. But I love the work here. Yeah, oh yeah, that looks like a Ultraman suit project. There you go. That looks pretty stunning. I would love to see it in live action for sure. But yeah, they're definitely bringing that to the suit itself will actually be debuting. And then let me see what this article here. Let me see what this tweet wind up saying. I might have to translate this. Yeah, let me go ahead and bring this one up for you guys. Okay, there we go. This is from the Ultraman site itself. So when I click on it, translate tweet, Ultraman Season 2 worldwide distribution decided on Netflix in the spring of 2022. At the beginning of Season 2, many visitors and viewers, and thank you for your warm comments. Now is the time to unite with Ultra teamwork. All the staff are working hard on the production. Please look forward to it. So that was one of their announcements that they wind up having. And yeah, it looks like you can actually even see like the suits itself in here highlighted, the live action suits. Incredible stuff here. So yeah, guys, if you have had the opportunity to check out Ultraman on Netflix. Season 2 is headed your way. If you have not checked it out, I definitely would recommend it. It's certainly a season worth tackling. Pretty fun, pretty violent, taking itself rather seriously. So again, it is a CG anime sort of series as well. But I'm glad to see that there's no hiccups happening here. The fact that they might have had a misstep with the voice actor departing, it felt like very much his choice, like he was kind of taking a step away from the entertainment business, if I'm not mistaken, to assist his wife in some stuff that they certainly have kind of going on. So definitely taking some time away, which I definitely can't even argue or be mad at. But I'm assuming if they've got themselves a season 2 coming, they've filled that void and are ready to go. So spring 2022, Ultraman season 2 will be here, guys. So definitely go ahead and get excited. I'm pretty pumped for that myself. All right, guys. I think other than that, that will officially wrap up all of our stories today, guys. So thank you very much for certainly coming through. Hopefully we were able to tackle some really great stories for you guys. Celebrating National Power Rangers Day. What are some of the things that you guys are definitely going to be doing today to celebrate? I would definitely love to know. Why do I have 5 random ass text messages? I have my fantasy football next week, or this weekend, tomorrow. He said my manager's saying that they can't do it at 4:30 tomorrow, that they want to do it at 12 or 1 or 1:30, which is like literally in the middle of my freaking APlus Hero Report show tomorrow. So I'm wondering if there's a way to do, can I host a show and juggle a fantasy football draft at the same time? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'll get back to him after this show. But yeah, we'll go ahead and dive into your guys' live viewer questions. I'm kind of curious if any of you guys are into fantasy football. Go ahead and let me know. Enrique, he says Saber is ending with the Revice team up specialist here. Yes, fully aware of it, but did not want to go ahead and bring it up on today's show. That's my big FU to Revice. But yes, Enrique, for those of you who are wondering, I believe this weekend is a crossover event between the 2 Kamen Rider shows. So if anything, I'll definitely let Stuart know. See if we do get ourselves an English subbed version this week. I'll see if he can go ahead and do the review for that, because we do have Revice beginning next weekend. And again, while we don't talk Revice here on the show, on APlus Morphinominal's live show, I have spoken with Stuart, and Stuart would like to go ahead and review the show. So I think we're going to go ahead and do the review here for you guys, similar to how we usually do it every Tuesday or Wednesday. So definitely look forward to that if you are wanting to go ahead and check out the Revice show. If you've been pleased with how Stuart's been doing Kamen Rider Saber, he's going to be tackling Revice. If anything, we might have a disclaimer at the beginning of our videos because of our, us being disgusted with the voice actor for Vice and some of his actions over the past year or so. So we might do we might do a little brief disclaimer at the beginning of our videos, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see here. All right, let's go ahead and get into these questions. First up, Jessica Fryman coming through. Hey, Adam, when do you think we'll know which Super Sentai series will become the next Power Rangers series? Probably not until next year. Usually that stuff doesn't really start dropping until we're at least into the 2nd season of the show. So if we do get an adaptation of a Super Sentai series for the next Power Rangers, I'm not expecting it to be that information to be released, at least, I feel like at least until maybe the end of the first part of season 2, right? Maybe just before the hiatus begins, or maybe during that time. I can't quite remember. But yeah, if anything, definitely not until at least season 2. Marcelino Vasquez has a couple of questions. Can Stuart ever be a host of A Plus More Phenomenal for 1 or 2 episodes? It would be interesting to see how he would carry on as a host. Why, you tired of me already? No, I'm just kidding. I'll ask him. I'll ask him if he wants to tackle a hosting position for A Plus More Phenomenal. I feel like not very often I've had him on the show, but every once in a while I might. So we'll see. I'll talk to him about it and see. I know he's a very busy man right now. He wasn't during the pandemic because his job and things like that, but he is back to working, getting more hours and things like that. But we'll see. I'll see if he's got a weekend open. Maybe give me a little bit of a vacation for a week or two. You know what I mean? Are you interested in reading some of the Power Ranger comics that were made before Boom Studios became involved? Probably not. Probably not. While I'm not too familiar with the comic books before Boom Studios, I got to imagine that they were probably. I got to imagine that they were probably more kiddie like. Like when I think of Power Rangers before Boom Studios, I don't know why my mind goes to like Archie comics, like just the really, fight monsters, have high school issues. I don't know. I just always felt it was probably more bubblegum and sunshines than what it is. Maybe not necessarily taking itself seriously. I could be wrong. Though, but that's that's my assumption when I think about Power Rangers comics before Boom Studios. So no, I don't really have any intentions unless they were just like mind-blowing stuff. Then yeah, then maybe I'll check it out. But right now I don't have any intention. Just wanted to tell you that some fans get fatigued from team-ups, especially when it comes to Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. The reason is because after Gokaiger team-ups went from something special to becoming a Wednesday afternoon. Super Sentai and Kamen Rider have been constantly making an abundance of team-ups instead of sticking to the usual 1 or 2. Some team-ups are even poorly written, like Go Busters and Cure Ranger team-up. The producers decided to cram Cure Yuger's team up with Go Busters and the past Dino seasons into one movie instead of making them 2 separate movies for each team-up. But what do you think? I mean, I can understand that. I guess it would explain the idea of maybe a lack of some team-ups. But I definitely get what you're saying. I don't mind the versus stuff. I do feel like the one that you're referring to, though, probably felt very much just, I don't want to say out of place, but felt very crammed. I definitely will give that to you for sure. But I don't feel like all of them have been that way. And so I guess it's just really all about execution. I personally do enjoy the team ups, or at least the versus movies. That I would certainly like to see continue, as long as the execution certainly is there. Adam says, "Adios, Adam. Stuart is in." Adam, never go away. You're important to the fans, at least to us. I appreciate that, guys. I really do appreciate that. Let's see here. Doomsday. Happy National Power Rangers Day, Adam. I have some special questions just for today. Which season do you think had the best iteration of Go-Go Power Rangers besides MMPR? Oh, man. There's so many. I can tell you one that I wasn't the biggest fan of. There's so many. I really do feel like there are so many great iterations. But one that I was not a big fan of, I will tell you that. You guys let me know if you have a favorite rendition of MMPR or Go-Go Power Rangers theme. You guys let me know which one sticks out to you. But a one that I will say, and I know some people were probably a big fan of this moment too, is probably, don't at me and don't throw tomatoes at me when I say this. I was not a fan of the Go-Go Power Rangers theme in the 2017 Power Ranger movies, guys. At the end, I wasn't a fan. it almost kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. I almost wonder if because I was already kind of disappointed in the lack of Power Rangering in that film. And it just felt really out of place to me. I almost wish that they had come up with a new rendition or just a better rendition for that. Yeah, so Emmanuel says Zeo, Beast Morphers, Blossom. So Emmanuel says Zeo, Beast Morphers. If anything for Go-Go Power Rangers, I would say Zeo, Dino Fury, and Dino Charge. I'm really leaning Zeo if I had to pick, honestly. I'm really leaning Zeo towards that. Which do you personally think did the high school theme better? I actually really love Dino Thunder. I think Dino Thunder did a really great high school theme better. The idea of like the first is the classes, the classrooms, just the prom. You know, like I really loved their high school theme in Dino Thunder. I thought they did a remarkable job in regards to that. What was your favorite moment in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1? I don't know if it's so much a moment as it is a storyline. Like for me, I know it's probably cheap to go the whole Evil Green Ranger route, but I gotta tell you, man, like the moment I saw that shit as a kid, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. I'd never see the idea that the concept of an evil ranger attacking our ranger team. I thought was so incredibly well done, and I love the fact too that it was not just one episode too, that they literally made a storyline out of it, one that continued throughout the season, if you will, with the green candle and things like that. I gotta say, man, that's one of my favorite moments. I can watch that over and over again and not be bored about it. So that's definitely one of my favorites. Baby Don Don, what's up, Baby Don Don? I don't know if this is your first time submitting anything, but I appreciate it, baby. He says, hey, Adam, if you're interested in any new tokusatsu series, I have a pretty short one here for you to consider. Garo versus Road, only 12 episodes long. You can find it on the show with subtitles on TV Nihon. Well, thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, I can't remember what Garo series I watched. It definitely wasn't a full series, though. It was probably maybe like one to three episodes I probably watched, and then I just kind of fell off. Great special effects and costume designs for sure. But yeah, I am kind of curious if I'll have to know about the Garo series to fully appreciate versus Road or not. But regardless, baby, I appreciate the comment. Johnny Marrero's got a couple questions for us also. If Power Ranger Universe becomes a hit, do you think it will continue as an ongoing series instead of a limited series? I hope so. I hope so. Maybe get the Phantom Ranger storyline out of the way with the limited series, and then maybe bring it back as an original series to focus on other aspects of Power Ranger mythology and teams. I would be completely okay with that. I am curious if maybe 3 ongoing series is too much for Boom Studios. I wonder if they feel like that's too much Power Ranger content out there to take away from some of the stories that they're building in Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers. Maybe that's why we've been only getting one-shots in limited series instead of the reveal of another ongoing series. But I would love to see it turn into ongoing. Are you excited that Commander Shaw from Beast Morphers is returning to Dino Fury? Also, could this lead to a return of Scrozzle? Hey, we're on the same wavelength there, Johnny. Appreciate you coming through. Yes, I'm pumped. I hope it brings back a returning Scrozzle. I certainly do. I believe Campbell Cooley is located in New Zealand. So the idea of dressing somebody up as Scrozzle, having Campbell Cooley do some voice work, definitely there. Definitely there. Ooh, sorry, guys. Hold on. Ooh.
Man, something went down the wrong way. I hate when that happens. Ooh, the struggles of doing a show live. The truth is, my allergies have been killing me this week, guys. Killing me. So not only, yeah, I almost died. No, I didn't almost die, but something definitely went down the wrong pipe. So outside of the 7 to 8 dogs that we own, yeah, you heard me right, 7 to 8. It's like a freaking kennel up in here. My girlfriend loves dogs. She absolutely does. She's just, she's got that type of heart. She loves to help animals. And there tend to be some strays around here from time to time. And she's just got to bring them in. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of dog hair around the house, even though we vacuum and sweep when we can. But this week, Blossom says they don't bite, do they? I mean, maybe if they don't know you, I don't know. But they're all usually pretty friendly. I mean, her family members come over, no big deal. Her friends come over, no big deal usually. But this like maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago almost, we wind up getting a cat. So not only 7 to 8 dogs, but now a cat also. Is that your voice changed a little? Yeah, that's me trying to clear my throat. It's coming back though. It's coming back. And I used to be super allergic to cats. Well, not super allergic, but cats used to activate my allergies. And this week, I've been fending off pretty well. I haven't had this type of issue. But like literally 2 days ago, the cat, while I was sleeping, jumped on me. I was petting it and giving it some love. And it literally brushed up against my face. Tail just like, whoop. And ever since then, like twice it did that to me. Tail across the nose, whoop. And ever since then, man, my allergies have been out of control. So I've been popping Claritin D the past 2 days. So I probably will pop one after this show. So yeah, it definitely has been bothering me. But yeah, all the dogs for the most part get along pretty well. We got a plethora of different types of dogs. They all get along pretty well also. Dogs are getting along well with the cat for the most part out of curiosity, but they're all pretty good. Around little kids, we definitely got to watch out for them though, for sure. Cause any fast movements and stuff, the dog's like, who is that? And then they start chasing these damn kids. And I'm like, nah, let's not have no accidents around here. Let's see here. So yes, to answer your question, Johnny, super pumped about Commander Shaw. A great drop from Beast Morphers to include into Dino Fury. Again, the emphasis of if we can't have big team up events or crossover events, this is like the next big thing. You know what I mean? So I love it. I love what they're doing. Do you hope next year that Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers will get deluxe hardcover editions book? Because I want that to happen. I can kind of see that happening. Also, Beast Morphers was a great season that saved Power Rangers from the same old morale of the day plot. Yeah, I think Beast Morphers did a lot of great things. Somebody even highlighted the musical episode that Beast Morphers did last year. Still one of my favorites. I think probably one of the best of an era, if you will, when it comes to Neo Saban. Really love what they did with Beast Morphers. So yeah, I definitely agree with you there. LaContra Lamin. What's up, LaContra? I don't believe I've seen you around here before. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it. He says, hello, Adam. I'm going to catch my first live stream of yours. Really hope I can, since it'll be 2 a.m. at my place when the stream starts. 2 a.m. LaContra, I got to know where you're at. I got to know where you're watching us from. I just want to say I really love your content and especially hype for your Deca Ranger reactions, since it's my favorite Sentai show and a big part of my childhood. So I hope you can find some enjoyment from the show. Well, LaContra, I'm really enjoying it so far. I truly am. I'm about 6 episodes into it, and I've had a blast with it, honestly. I really have. I love the format of the storytelling in here. The characters are really jumping out at me. I love some of their personality traits, and the mystery cop show detective concept really works for me. So I've been having a great time with it. Remember, September 7th, guys. While Patreon is getting these episodes early, they will be made available to the YouTube public beginning September 7th, which I believe is a Tuesday, on a Toku Tuesday. So definitely go ahead and look forward to our Decker Ranger reactions. Power Rangers Legacy has a couple of comments here. Says we might get a Power Ranger episode. Oh, excuse me. We might get a Christmas episode later in Dino Fury. Why do you think we keep getting them every series? If they're just excuse for clip show, is it the writers or Nickelodeon? Why can't we get something new and different? Maybe behind the scenes episode of the cast. That'd be cool. And crew talking about filming Power Rangers and putting together Sentai and original footage. Operation Overdrive sort of did that, but it was instead a special broadcast after its series finale. I kind of dig that. I really do dig that. The idea of maybe give us an episode that's just behind the scenes. Have like a documentary crew follow them around. I think that would be really cool. I do wonder if the seasons themselves is coming more from Nickelodeon and how they want the format of their Power Ranger shows to go. So I almost want to say it's maybe Nickelodeon, but I don't know that for sure. But I will say, with this being Dino Fury's first time doing anything Halloween or Christmas specially, I do wonder if they are going to push the envelope a little bit more. Like, do I expect there to be some clips in there? I probably do. Will it be an entire clip show, though? That I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. I hope they execute it well, though, especially based off of how well they've executed the Dino Fury season so far. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Yeah, my allergies were acting up, so I had to go blow my nose. But he says, when Mighty Morphin transitioned to Zeo, did it feel like a huge change of ground for this series? And do you agree that Saban stuck with the same suits for 3 seasons because kids might have stopped watching, the ratings would go down? So Zeo was a huge test when adapting the O Ranger suits. For me, it felt like a huge change. New base, new color scheme. The characters to me seem to definitely grow, and so it definitely gave me a ton of new vibes, new villains. Yeah, it definitely felt like a huge change. I mean, that certainly could be a reason also why he didn't change the suits for the first 3 seasons. MMPR probably became so incredibly recognizable that they didn't want to change. Don't if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I think after 3 seasons and some of the stuff that you want to explore, I'm sure they use a lot of original footage as they got deeper into MMPR. So maybe they also expected, hey, we're really running out of footage here. Maybe we should consider the idea of a new Super Sentai show to adapt. And so I wonder if that had anything to kind of do with it also. And since you've had these characters around for such a long time, you've established them personality wise. I think if anything, after 3 years, a suit change probably wouldn't have hurt so much. If they had did it maybe after season 1, maybe even after season 2, maybe. But considering the fact that it grew a fan base over those 3 seasons, and they knew was more of a continuation of the story and moving on, like the way that they executed it, I think was great. So that could have been a reason. It could have been a lack of Super Sentai footage now too. And it could have just been the idea that they wanted to wait around a little bit longer so they had their characters solidified before making any changes. But yeah, that could be certainly one of the reasons. You also say, I can't imagine the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers if we get a new season. Hold on. I can't imagine the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers if we get a new season after Dino Fury. Hasbro makes it all about Mighty Morphin. I get it. It was the original series and nostalgic, but it's so annoying how much attention they've been given MMPR than other seasons. Even Dino Fury, like not giving us real official return dates of brand new episodes, primarily making toys and figures that are just MMPR. I don't think that's the reason why we haven't gotten that stuff, though. I don't think it's such a big old push for MMPR that they've forgotten to give us Dino Fury stuff. Power Rangers has always been like that. So even before Hasbro. So I don't think that's the reason. Us, the fans, are the ones who are actually celebrating Power Ranger Month. It makes me that's true. It makes me upset that Sentai celebrates their entire franchise in Japan while we can't have the same thing for Power Rangers. I hope Hasbro realizes what they're doing in time for the 30th anniversary. I don't want them to ignore 28 seasons that came after MMPR. I definitely get that. Yeah, I definitely get that. When it comes to the 30th anniversary, we're still very far away from that. It would be interesting to see what they do for it. Could it be a celebration of MMPR? It could, right? We could have a rebooted MMPR season announced. We could be getting ourselves that movie for the 30th anniversary. But hopefully in time, Hasbro will expand upon that. I know, again, I will say this. I know people are tired of MMPR. I totally get that. But I think Hasbro also realizes that as much as people say that they're tired and over MMPR, the problem is people say that, and then there's also a plethora of people that go out and buy that content, and indulge in that content. I will say this: if you're one of these people, and I'm not saying that you are Power Ranger Legacy. I'm just saying in general, if you're one of these people that say, I'm so tired of MMPR, can we do anything else? And you're out here also purchasing MMPR content from Hasbro anytime that they drop something, you're not helping your cause. Just being honest, you're not helping your cause. Because Hasbro is selling this MMPR stuff. They're pushing the MMPR stuff, and they wouldn't do that if it wasn't their bread and butter. And so, yes, I get it that people are tired of MMPR. It's always MMPR, but it's what sells. And if anything, it's not like they completely ignore other series. It's just that they only think about them maybe 25% of the time, sadly. And I feel like even Hasbro on their Fan First Fridays have understand that there are other series and teams that people want to see other things, and they're clearly working on it. Yes, there's always going to be MMPR material out there. I mean, we got 3 long seasons of it, so I do think while I'm not saying it's an afterthought, I do think their balance of MMPR and other seasons is probably in accordance with how their sales are. They're probably selling more MMPR stuff than they are, say, Mystic Force content, right? Or Time Force content, or RPM content. Not to say that there's a lot of content out there. This damn fly, get out of here, man. So I do think I think it's a delicate balance that I'm sure some people aren't necessarily the biggest fans of. But I do think Hasbro does what it can, and maybe over time, as we continue to get more MMPR stuff, that will clearly start hopefully eliminating like how many other stuff can you create, and maybe it'll give us a bigger push of past Rangers. But yeah, I am agreeing with you that I do hope that Hasbro realizes to not ignore the 28 seasons that came before MMPR. Like I do hope that they eventually realize that, and I think they do realize it. I just think they realize where their money maker is at, and then right behind that will be slow trickles of other seasons and other content outside of it. So we'll see what the 30th anniversary holds. Again, whether that's, hey guys, rebooted MMPR season or a brand new movie for you guys. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Adam Perea, he's got a couple questions. With Commander Shaw from Beast Morphers returning, do you think she will help the Rangers with something, maybe either a new threat or related to the morphing grid, or perhaps Scrozzle returns, considering he was arrested and brought in by Colonel Truman at the end of Beast Morphers in Season 1's later scene, especially if Steel returns, whose actor is in New Zealand, both physically and voice actor. I would love that. I would love that. I would love that. Yeah, give me a Commander Shaw. Give me a Steel popping up. Maybe not the entire force of Beast Morphers, but you're bringing two people clearly worthy of being able to bring down whatever forces there certainly are that's conspiring. I love the idea. Whether it's Scrozzle, a brand new threat, I do think it's probably a threat that maybe popped up in Beast Morphers. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's a face that we're quite familiar with. So we'll see. We'll see. Following up from last week, we know Guy Sorg didn't have much footage in Real Soldier, so if Void Knight were to die or survive, maybe the man under the armor could still stay around and become the Brown Ranger, or use his Void Knight armor and fight with the Rangers in brand new footage, just like Eric in Time Force. He was still around while his counterpart died. Bonus, Void Knight's spirit, after turning good, maybe passes on to someone to become a new Void Knight. Ooh, I kind of like both of those ideas. Yeah, I do hope that they do something very original with this character. Because you're right, Guy Sorg, at some particular point in time, there's a limit to his footage that they can use from Real Soldier. So yeah, I would be completely on board with that if they wanted to either redeem this guy and eventually give him sort of that bronze or brown armor that we saw in Real Soldier for like one episode, and start doing more original footage with him, or even just original footage with Void Knight in general, which they've really been doing a lot of the first half of this season. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. So I am kind of hoping that they don't kill him off. He's one of the coolest looking characters we have. I say if that's the case, continue to utilize him and find ways to certainly keep him around storyline purposes. So we'll see. We'll see if there's anybody else under that bronze armor, or if Void Knight gets redeemed or sticks around in that armor for a while. But I do think that character itself, I'm hoping, will certainly stick around for the entirety of the season. Do you think the Phantom Ranger finally getting his origin story in the comics will be believable to the fans of the actual Power Ranger TV show? We know that everything in the comics are canon to the actual TV series. I still don't buy the whole Jason Zagtrini going to the Peace Treaty and was a cover up to becoming Omega Rangers. Really? Because I find that like so seamlessly understandable. I honestly found it to fill in a lot of gaps for me personally, but again, that's just me, Adam. But yeah, I think it'll be believable for fans. I feel like Daphne, the editor, Ryan, the writer, I think the fact that they pay such close attention to details and to the show itself, that I do think that there will be some connective pieces to either past Power Ranger lore. I definitely do think that they'll certainly allow it to make sense. So I'm not really worried about the Phantom Ranger history. I do think they're going to do it justice. L'Oreal's got a couple questions. next time they do Power Ranger month, how would you set Power Ranger month up? I think at least one big announcement a week. So that would be 4 big announcements once a week. And I think maybe the other, and then maybe like 1 or 2 days out of the week also. I don't know. I was going to say like trivia, celebration moments, watch along moments. Like I want to see Hasbro really go out of its way. Like, hey guys, this day during this week of Power Month, join this actor for a sit down watch along or for a couple of episodes to celebrate. You know what I mean? Like reach out to your cast members. Give them little things to kind of do to help celebrate Power Month a little bit more, you know, even if it's just a trivia questions or a live chat or whatever the case may be, but have it presented by Hasbro. You know, like the fact that we've got people like perranger.com and other Twitter sites, YouTube sites doing a lot of the promoting for Power Month. Maybe Hasbro should like reach out to some of them, some of the content creators on YouTube, and come up with great ways to celebrate Power Month together. Or even if you're not going to utilize the content creators on YouTube, the creators that you have behind the scenes, you know, create something, little mini movies or a little mini series, 4-part mini series or something like that going forward, you know, 1 episode a week for 4 weeks, like just something creative, just something creative. If any Ranger, which one would you want to be a part of the Lightning collection? I don't believe they've done her yet. Solar Ranger. Have they done a Solar Ranger one? The Power Ranger universe they're doing kind of reminds me of our idea of Q Rangers at the Galactic Council. Oh, very cool. Very cool. All those Rangers from the Gaga adult films you've shown. How'd it be if the Waku Sabers and those other Rangers you reacted to were in comic books? Our Tokugers read. Oh, maybe the team. I think that would be cool. Just don't have them be adult film stars. Scape. What's up, Scape? Appreciate you coming through. Scape Land. Interesting. So yesterday, I had a glance at your Patreon page. First off, shout out to Scape for certainly coming through. First time question, I believe, from Scape or comment. So yesterday, I had a glance at your Patreon page. Sorry, I don't have the money to join at the moment. And I noticed that you posted 4 Deca Ranger reactions in the first week instead of 2. Will you also do that during the first week you post them on YouTube? Hopefully you will. Or is it just a patron thing? Thank you. So the reason for that. Oh, before I get into this, there you go, Yusai. That's what I'm talking about. Your 4-part miniseries idea for a celebration remind me of the strongest battle for Super Sentai when they brought the GOAT back to be a boss and team up with the weirdest lineup of Rangers ever. Yeah, something along those lines. It don't even have to be live action. It could be something animated wise. Just something. So going back to Scapeland's comments about my 4 Deca Ranger reaction videos in 1 week instead of 2. So that is specifically just for the Patreons, especially how I did it here in the first couple of weeks. The first couple of weeks is pretty much just of let's get you guys ahead before I begin posting these videos on fully aware, Matt, fully aware. Let's get these Deca Ranger reaction videos posted on Patreon before we reveal them to the general public on our YouTube page. Once it drops to YouTube, you'll definitely, whether you're part of the Patreon or YouTube subscriber, it'll still be 2 episodes a week Tuesday and Wednesday, our reaction videos will air. The only reason why, as of right now, the patrons are getting an influx is because I want to get ahead of it. I want to make sure that I've got enough content to bridge the gap so that patron supporters feel special enough to be like, yo, I got like 12 episodes before y'all even got episode 1. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make it special enough for the Patreons to have access early and to know that there are other people out there that are behind them and warranted because of the fact that they're supporting the channel in that way. So yeah, they will get an influx of episodes as I play some catch up. Plus, it's also a really great buffer for me in some weeks when shit just goes haywire, you know, and I can't make a video that week or something, that I'm fully ahead of where I certainly need to be in regards to the gap between Patreon and it being on YouTube itself. So yeah, right now they'll definitely be getting an influx of new episodes over on Patreon for Deca Ranger. But once we drop starting September 7th here on YouTube, both YouTube and Patreon, while Patreon will be ahead, there will just be 2 episodes a week, Tuesday and Thursday. You know, I was debating maybe I should do it maybe 3 days a week, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself yet. As of right now, let me see how the flow of the shows are going. Because the idea is to be done with this within a half a year. I'm not trying to spend a whole entire year on this. So if I can knock this out within 6 months or so, 2 episodes a week out of 50, so that's 25 weeks. I'm kind of hoping I can knock it out in 24, 25 weeks, so half of the year. So we'll see. But hopefully that answers your question, Scape. So thank you very much for certainly coming through. And then last sets of questions here from AJ coming through. He's got an update to his live questions. For Ion's debut, what if Zato thinks that Slither is tricking him again by impersonating as Ion, but he and Zato do know each other from RAFCON? Would you like that to be part of Jordan Fight's introduction? Oh, that would be pretty cool because he's already been scammed once that way. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a little bit of hesitancy. I don't know if he would automatically think it's Slither, but it wouldn't surprise me if he definitely starts asking him questions like, how do you know so much about this place? You know what I mean? So we'll see if he's learned his lesson from Slither. That'll be interesting. That's a good question. The last couple of Sixth Ranger introductions were super obvious and not epic like Nate and Levi. But yeah, I'm hoping that there is some hesitancy before fully accepting him in. Do you still like that Gavin was used as Captain Chaku in Beast Morphers? I love this suit. Definitely reminded me of VR Troopers. So metallic. I wish he stayed on longer and gave us a small nod to VR Troopers. Could have been adult son of Ryan Steele. Would have been much better ending than the RoboCop similarity. I really love the way that they handled him. I didn't think that they were going to utilize Gavin footage, but the fact that they did in regards to creating a new character for us, brilliant. We even got a lot of emotional moments there from like Nate, him talking to him about his son that he wind up having to leave behind and afraid to confront his son and things like that because of how he looked, him not being fully human anymore. Really great emotional elements, human elements too, that I felt was kind of missing from past Power Rangers series. So as a two-parter, really impressed with how they introduced Captain Chaku. When Billy left the series near the end of Zeo, when did you realize David Yost walked off set after being constantly harassed as a producer? Probably not by producers and writers for being gay. Probably not till I was older, honestly. Do you like the way Billy was written off, having a different actor play him with the rapid age situation, allowing Billy to go to Aquitar and end up falling in love with Alien Centris? If Billy had stayed, how would you want to see him fit into the first half of Turbo? I really liked Billy working at the command center. I truly did. There were moments when I missed him being able to morph and getting into his gear, but I did like him as sort of like the tech guy in the series. But yeah, when I was younger and was watching this, I had no idea as to why Billy wound up leaving. Looking back on it, I do wish that the story was better told. I don't want to say it fully came out of nowhere that he decided to go ahead and live and leave and live on Aquitar. That felt like it kind of blindsided me a little bit. I would do wish the execution was a little bit better. But yeah, I do wish the execution was a little bit better. But as far as like him fitting into the first half of Turbo, you also saying, what if Billy ended up being Blue Turbo instead of Justin, and Rocky maybe still broke his back? No, I feel like his time had come. I felt like his time had come. Is okay, pass the torch along. I think everybody certainly did that. I don't know how long I would have wanted Billy to stick around for. If he had been around in first half of Turbo, that's fine. But I think if anything, have him be the tech guy, have him be the vet that knows the ropes, that helps be the mentor and help the other teams and the new students kind of grow. So I would have been okay with that too. But I do wish that his he said end up falling in love with the alien. Like, I wish we had seen more signs of that. I wish there was maybe a little bit more of a buildup towards him leaving. That's the only thing I felt kind of robbed about, honestly. But all right, guys. Yusai says, the only issue with him, Zato, having hesitancy would be if our Sixth Ranger comes in as already transformed and kicking ass. I just pray he is nothing like Canalo. Jordan Fight's a charming man, very slick, I feel like, in his approach and how he handles things. So it would not surprise me if he's a womanizer like Canalo. I'm with you though, Yusai. Like, I hope he's not that. If he is, please reel it back in, because I don't need him. I don't need to see his thirst every episode. I don't need to see it every episode. So we'll see what happens. But all right, guys, I think other than that, I think that's going to do it here for our live viewer questions today. So thank you very much, guys, for certainly coming through, as always, to not only celebrate Power Rangers each and every weekend with us, but participating in our live chats, commenting, hopefully after this particular video airs, submitting in your live viewer questions. It's always great to not only break down the news of the week, but also get your guys' point of view. Because remember, at the end of the day, these are just simply my A+ opinions, but I always definitely want to go ahead and know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. So if there's anything else you guys want to elaborate on, further discuss, feel free to go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comment section box. I definitely will go ahead and join you guys there to go ahead and continue further discussion. And especially if you're here in the live chat today and you continue to come back week to week. If you love our content, guys, especially this week's video, do us a big favor. Hit that like button. It definitely does go a long way. Feel free to leave comments. That also helps our algorithm, and feel free to certainly share these videos if you certainly like to, and definitely don't forget to subscribe to us here each and every week if you haven't done so yet, and click that bell notification so once we drop a brand new video, you guys will certainly be notified. But other than that, guys, I think that's going to do it for us here. So if anything, we'll certainly see you guys next week. We do have a couple of big announcements that are going to be working for us. So if everything comes together, hopefully I'll have some news for you guys next weekend. So definitely look forward to that. But until next time, do me a big favor. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. Happy National Power Rangers Day, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. If you enjoy our content and want to be a part of helping our channel grow, become a patron supporter. We have affordable tiers to choose from that offer a variety of exclusive and early access content, from audio files for all of our shows for you to enjoy on the road, access to our Discord community, and plenty of reactions, reviews, character breakdowns, and more. Check us out at patreon.com/A+opinions. And as always, remember, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so anytime we drop a brand new video, you will be notified.